Imagine for a second if I told you that you could trade your cramped, aging 1,800 square foot house for a brand new luxury estate.
Which, already sounds like a scam.
Right, totally. But imagine as part of this deal, you could also instantly upgrade your local school's math proficiency scores by like 50 points, drop your neighborhood crime rate to near zero, and somehow, after all of those massive upgrades, your monthly living expenses actually go down.
Down by like, what, up to $3,000 a month?
Yeah, exactly. Up to $3,000. I mean, it sounds like a late-night infomercial pitch or maybe just a really bad math error.
It really does.
But today we are taking a deep dive into what might be the ultimate geographical life hack for anyone out there feeling crushed by the modern cost of living. Have you ever looked at your monthly bills and just wondered if the grass is greener and significantly cheaper somewhere else?
I think we all have, especially lately.
Exactly. So we are looking at a highly detailed, data-driven 2026 cost comparison compiled by an Indianapolis-based realtor named Cara Conde. She has meticulously analyzed a very specific, highly active relocation pipeline.
Yeah, the Antioch to Fishers route.
Right. Families moving 2,200 miles from Antioch, California, straight to Fishers, Indiana. And our mission today is to dissect these hard numbers to discover if trading coastal sunshine for the Midwest actually delivers a better quality of life.
And it really is a phenomenal data set to explore. What makes this source material so compelling is that it completely removes the emotion from that standard things are just too expensive these days conversation.
Which we hear all the time.
Constantly. But this grounds the entire concept of uprooting your life in hard, actionable mathematics. It's structural economics, not just venting.
Okay, let's unpack this, because why are families looking 2,000 miles away in the first place? If we look at the source data for Antioch, California, we see a city of about 116,500 people. The median home sits at roughly $588,000, but the median household income is hovering around $97,500, and overall it holds a niche grade of a C.
And just for anyone who might not be familiar with that metric, Niche is a comprehensive data platform that grades neighborhoods across the country.
They aggregate a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Dozens of public data sets, everything from crime statistics to standardized test scores, local amenities. So a C indicates a very average, perhaps struggling civic infrastructure.
Got it.
But then you look at the other side of this relocation equation, which is Fishers, Indiana. You have a comparable population size, about 100, 2,300 people, but the median home is significantly cheaper.
Like how much cheaper?
It sits right at $420,000. Yet the median household income is remarkably higher at roughly $130,200.
Wow.
And it boasts an overall niche grade of an A+.
I was looking at that exact contrast earlier, and those numbers tell a very specific, almost paradoxical story. Living in Antioch, based on this data, feels like running on a financial treadmill cranked up to the maximum incline.
That is a great way to put it.
You are sweating, you're working incredibly hard, but the fundamental cost of housing is vastly outpacing your local earning power. Whereas moving to Fishers, structurally speaking, is like suddenly jogging downhill with a massive tailwind. The houses cost less, but people are earning more.
What's fascinating here is the underlying mechanism behind that inversion. In Antioch, you have families making near a six-figure income, which traditionally sounds like a benchmark of success.
Right. 97 grand is not a small amount of money.
It's not. But they are trained to afford nearly a $600,000 median home. That ratio creates an intense, constant economic pressure. You are house poor by default.
Yeah, you're just scraping by.
Exactly. But in Fishers, you have income soaring past $130,000, while the housing drops to the low 400s. And we have to ask why that exists.
What's the secret sauce there?
It comes down to land availability and pro-development zoning laws in the Midwest, which keeps housing supply high and prices stable. Combine that with an influx of high-earning remote workers and specialized tech or medical sectors in the Indianapolis suburbs, and you get this magic ratio.
So it's not just a fluke.
No, not at all. It's a structural disparity. It's a total inversion of economic pressure. This massive disconnect between what you can earn and what it costs to simply put a roof over your head is the primary pain point, forcing families to basically reevaluate their geography.
It's an arbitrage opportunity. You're taking your human capital and placing it on a different game board. But Let's transition from that big macroeconomic picture to something much more tangible.
The monthly budget.
Yes, the literal kitchen table budget for a family of 4 in 2026. Because the source material breaks down the exact monthly savings, and the scale is staggering. We're talking total monthly savings in Fishers ranging between $1,500 and $3,000 plus.
Which is life-changing money. Retaining up to $3,000 of capital every single month completely changes a family's socioeconomic trajectory.
Oh, totally.
Over 5 years, that equals $90,000 to over $180,000 in real, tangible cash savings.
That's incredible.
The data shows that housing alone, so factoring in the mortgage, taxes, and insurance, is $1,000 to $1,200 cheaper per month.
And what's wild is that the savings bleed into literally every other category. Groceries. You're saving $200, $250 a month.
Gas and transportation save another $130 to $170.
Right. Utilities drop by $130 to $150. And there's a physical reason for this, isn't there?
Yeah, Indiana is physically closer to major agricultural hubs, and the fuel taxes are lower. That drastically reduces the supply chain cost of getting, say, a gallon of milk to the grocery store shelf.
It's death by 1,000 cuts in California and life by 1,000 savings in Indiana. But here's where it gets really interesting, because I was tracking with all of this, looking at the tax environment.
Which the source identifies as a massive driver of this relocation pipeline.
Exactly. The data notes California's income tax can reach up to 13.3% for high earners, while Indiana operates on a flat state income tax of around 2.95 to 3%.
That structural difference alone saves families $300 to $600 a month.
Right, straight off their gross pay. But wait, I have to push back on the data just a little bit here, because the source says Indiana's effective property tax rate is actually similar, percentage-wise, to California's.
Yes, it sits around 0.74 to 0.76%.
So if the percentage the government takes is basically identical, how is there a massive financial win there? Am I missing a loophole, or is this just an illusion?
It's a really sharp observation, and it's a very common point of confusion. People look at tax rates in a vacuum without considering the underlying asset.
Okay, so the home value itself.
Exactly. Because Fisher's home values are fundamentally lower to begin with. Remember, $420,000 versus $588,000, that similar percentage translates to a much smaller actual tax bill in sheer dollars.
Oh, I see. So it's the same slice, but of a much smaller pie.
Right. Families are paying $2,000 to $3,000 less annually in property taxes alone. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't just about extreme couponing or penny pinching.
No, not at all.
Saving up to $3,000 a month is wealth building through cost avoidance. You are freeing up capital. That $180,000 over 5 years, that fully funds a college account. It drastically accelerates a retirement timeline.
It effectively ends the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle for someone who was, on paper, a high earner. But that brings us to the human math. Because if you're uprooting your family just to save money, what are you sacrificing?
The quality of life question.
Right. Are you moving into a tiny, outdated house in a bad neighborhood just to make the spreadsheet look good? Let's look at what a $600,000 budget actually buys you in 2026.
The contrast in the physical living standards is stark. In Antioch, that $600,000 gets you a 3 to 4 bedroom home, maybe 1,800 to 2,200 square feet.
And you are buying into an area with average schools and statistically higher crime.
Yeah. But in Fishers, that exact same budget buys a 4 to 5 bedroom, 3,000 plus square foot newer home.
Yeah.
Big yard.
And the source highlights master-planned communities, right? Like Geist or Thorpe Creek.
Yes, and we should clarify what a master plan community is. We aren't just talking about a subdivision with a few paved roads. These are effectively micro-cities.
With their own infrastructure.
Exactly. Interconnected trail systems, private lakes, community pools, integrated retail spaces. You're buying into a curated civic environment.
This isn't just getting a discount. It's like trading in a high-mileage compact car for a brand-new luxury SUV, and somehow your monthly payments go down.
It really is. And the schools integrated into those designs are a huge factor. Antioch Unified has a niche grade of C++. The 2023-2024 data shows 13% math proficiency and 26% reading proficiency.
Ouch. That is objectively tough to look at.
It is. Now contrast that with Fishers Hamilton Southeastern District, a plus niche grade, ranked number 8 in Indiana.
Wow, top 10 in the state.
Yep, 98 to 99% graduation rate, 61% math, 62% reading proficiency, average SATs of 1240.
So you're unlocking elite college counseling and a totally different peer environment for your kids.
Which is a profound structural advantage. And this raises an important question about the hidden psychological costs of where we live, specifically environmental stress.
You mean like safety and crime?
Yes. Antioch sits in the 33rd percentile for safety nationally, D-plus grade, elevated violent and property crime. Fishers consistently ranks in the top 5 to 10 safest cities in the U.S.
Top 10 in the whole country.
Yeah. Roughly 80 violent crimes per 100,000 people. The cost of crime per resident is just $310.
The source specifically notes that families in Fishers feel completely comfortable letting their kids play outside freely, riding bikes, walking to the park. Many Antioch parents just don't feel safe doing that anymore.
And that low-level hum of anxiety is the invisible weight of a high-crime area. You really can't put a price tag on that peace of mind.
No, you can't.
That's why the standard cost of living metric is inadequate. We should probably be calling it the cost of thriving. When you systemically remove that environmental stress, the entire psychological dynamic of the family changes.
It's a massive reduction in daily anxiety. But let's be real, nothing is entirely perfect. Crossing the country comes with a literal and figurative geography tax.
Oh, absolutely. The trade-offs are real.
Leaving California means you are giving up milder winters. No more rare snow. You lose Bay Area job access, the Delta waterways, and obviously the ocean.
Fishers brings real, intense Midwestern winters, 21 to 22 inches of snow a year on average, plus humid summers.
I mean, the source notes it offers over 100 miles of trails, but a paved trail is not the Pacific Ocean.
It definitely isn't. And physically moving 2,200 miles is an enormous logistical hurdle. Professional moving costs range from $5,000 to $12,000.
So what does this all mean? I want you, the listener, to weigh this right now. Is buying a winter coat worth the savings? I have to push back on the idea that this is a flawless move.
It's definitely not for everyone.
If your soul absolutely needs the ocean, or you rely on the cultural density of the Bay Area, no amount of square footage will replace that. If you're miserable because it's 20 degrees outside in February, the spreadsheet math doesn't matter.
It's a highly critical point.
Yeah.
Geography is deeply personal. But this is where the source provides some very pragmatic advice. Visit in the winter.
Oh, I love that tip. Test the seasons.
Exactly. Don't go to Fishers in May when it's beautiful. Go in late January. See if the cold is a deal breaker before you commit.
That pragmatic approach really speaks to the mindset of the author behind this data, Cara Conde, because she isn't just a traditional real estate agent showing you a kitchen.
No, her background is fascinating. She is Oxford educated, comes from the tech sector, and is a former investor. Her business model specializes in white glove relocations.
Which means what exactly, mechanically speaking?
It means operating like a corporate concierge service, handling the entire logistical pipeline, coordinating movers, navigating school enrollments, finding off-market properties.
So she's basically managing the entire integration into a new state.
Right. Her tech and investing background perfectly aligns with this data-heavy, ROI-focused approach. She's acting as a wealth advisor whose chosen medium is real estate.
She's providing a fully managed escape hatch for these families.
Exactly. It shifts the paradigm from treating your home as just a place to live to treating your geographic location as an asset to be aggressively optimized for maximum yield.
Wow. Treating your geography like a deliberate business strategy, relocating from Antioch to Fishers is clearly far more than trimming your budget. It's a massive lifestyle upgrade wrapped in a data-backed financial reset.
It really is.
But ultimately, for you listening, it comes down to where your personal line is drawn. What premium are you willing to pay for year-round sunshine? Is it worth the financial stress? Or is the peace of mind of A-plus schools, safety, and an extra couple $1,000s a month worth enduring a Midwestern winter?
It is the ultimate trade-off of modern American life. And I think observing this trend leads to a much larger consequence we need to consider.
Yeah.
If thousands of coastal families are already making this leap, and experts are building luxury pipelines to facilitate it, what happens to the Midwest in the long run?
Oh, that is a fantastic question, the macro effect.
Right. If top-tier suburban districts like Fishers continue to absorb this massive influx of out-of-state money and coastal cultural expectations, how might this wave of transplants eventually alter the very affordability that made the area appealing in the first place?
Did they just end up inadvertently recreating the exact same housing shortages and cost of living spikes they were trying to escape? That is something to seriously mull over. Because if everyone realizes the math is better and moves to the cheaper grass, eventually it might just start looking exactly like the expensive lawn you left behind. Think about that the next time you're staring at your monthly bills.